Hey everyone, welcome to Dustin the Blind Minnesotan podcast. Today we're going to talk about the best place to shop / the best places to shop in Anoka County as a disabled person. Anoka County has 4/5 major cities in it. It has Anoka, Minnesota. It has Coon Rapids, Minnesota. It has Blaine, Minnesota. It has Fridley, Minnesota. And it has Columbia Heights / Hilltop, Minnesota. And then it has like a little bit of Andover, but it doesn't have the whole city of Andover. So Anoka County it's not the biggest county either. Like Ramsey County and Hennepin County also are the most populated counties in the state of Minnesota, and they're the biggest land-wise. Well, Anoka County, where I live, is a pretty small county. So today I want to talk about the shopping mall. The shopping mall I'm talking about today is going to be called the Northtown Mall in Blaine, Minnesota, and it's next to the Northtown Transit Center. The Northtown Transit Center is next to the Northtown Mall in Blaine, Minnesota, is one of the most important transit centers for all disabled people to know if you live in Anoka County, Minnesota, because that transit center helps you get everywhere you kind of need in Anoka County with the bus system, and it helps you get to downtown Minneapolis with the bus system. The bus, there is like 3 buses that kind of go there, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. You know, it depends on how you look at it, because everyone kind of sees it as a pro or a con. It's kind of hard to me to explain unless you physically go there. The bus stop has 4 gates. It has the A gate, the B gate, the C gate, the D gate, and it used to have an E gate, but the E gate is not used that much anymore. And what happens is the D gate and the E gate has buses that will take you to downtown Coon Rapids and downtown Anoka. The A and the B gates are buses that will take you to Columbia Heights, Fridley, and downtown Minneapolis. In the C gate, I honestly don't know what's at the C gate. So, just to be completely honest with you. And the buses that are there are the 10 buses, and there's 2 10 buses. There's the 10U and the 10N. The 10U goes from the Northtown Mall / the Northtown Transit Center through Fridley on University and into Columbia Heights on University, turns on 33rd Avenue, and then gets on Central, goes down Central, stops at the Columbia Heights Transit Station, and then it takes you through northeast Minneapolis, down Central to downtown Minneapolis, down Nicollet Mall, because it goes from over the 3rd Avenue Bridge, down Washington Avenue, onto Nicollet Mall, and then it takes that road all the way to the Minneapolis Convention Center. And then you have the 10N. The 10N goes from the Northtown Mall down University until it hits Osborne Road. And then it goes down Osborne Road to Central. And then it goes down Central slash Highway 65 until it hits the Columbia Heights Transit Station. And then once you hit the Columbia Heights Transit Station, it goes down Central all the way through Northeast Minneapolis, over the 3rd Avenue Bridge, and then it goes on Nicollet Mall and ends on at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Sorry, my brain was... Be lucky this is a podcast, so when my brain farts, it's okay. And there's 110 bus that does not come this far, and it's the 10H bus. But the 10H bus only goes from downtown Minneapolis, down Central, to the Columbia Heights Transit Station, and it ends at the Fridley Target. So when you look online, you will see 310 buses, but the only ones that really matter for the people who live in Anoka County are the 10N and the 10U. So, and then there's the 804 bus. And the 804 bus is not what people imagine what it is. The 804 bus takes you through southern Blaine, down 99th Avenue, and it goes into Spring Lake Park because it goes past the Anoka County Human Services Office in southern Blaine, and then it goes down Central / Highway 65. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now to making sure I'm telling you the right information. And it goes down 85th Avenue. And it just keeps going, and it keeps going. And this time, it's going through Spring Lake Park. And Spring Lake Park is it's a town between Fridley and Blaine. And then it goes down, Spring Lake Park Road, and then it turns on Aridin Avenue, and it goes past Groveland Park, and this is in Spring Lake Park, and it takes you kind of through Spring Lake Park, and then it turns on Long Lake Road. So now you're in the town of Long Lake. And then it goes down. And it takes you into Mountains View. And Mountains View is considered Ramsey County, where there is all these like a Target, there's a Hy-Vee, there's a bunch of apartment buildings. So then then it goes to let me zoom in, Quidney Street, and then it goes down Quivy Street to let me see, H2. That's the name of the road. And then it takes that to Silver Lake Road. That's a beautiful road. And it takes that all the way. Let me scroll down. It goes through a bunch of shopping areas, a bunch of single family homes, goes through Freedom Park. And it goes into the town of New Brighton. That's also Ramsey County. That's New Brighton. And it turns on W County Highway 93. Then it goes, let me see, into Chandler Drive, northeast. And then it heads north, past all these mom and pop businesses, these mom and pop grocery stores, to Floss Road. And then it goes back north You mean? And it goes down, let me see. Old Highway 8 Southwest. And this is a nice bus because you can see all these like mom and pop businesses on this 804 bus. And there's all these mom and pop businesses along this bus. And it all starts from the Northtown Mall. And then it's just shocking because it goes back into New Brighton, down 8th Street Northwest. And it just goes through like New Brighton, and it makes a loop. And then it slowly makes its way back to the Northtown Mall in Blaine. So it's just a giant loop, and along all these businesses this bus route, there's all these businesses where people can work at, where people can be employed. It's just, a good bus service. And then it ends back at the Northtown Mall / Northtown Transit Center. So then you have the 804 bus. I know this is a podcast, so it's supposed to be more personal. And then you have the 805 bus. And the 805 bus it's kind of weird because it does not take you to Coon Rapids through a normal way. Because everyone thinks about Coon Rapids like with Coon Rapids Boulevard, That's what everyone thinks of Coon Rapids, because Coon Rapids Boulevard is where all the shopping is, So, but the 805 bus, takes you up University, and it takes you past all these elementary schools, past these churches in Coon Rapids. A part of Coon Rapids that people forget about because it's not the famous Coon Rapids. Past the Domino's Pizza, all these past the CVS, all these major businesses that the bus goes on, and it goes down Egret Boulevard Northwest. And then it goes that way past a bunch of apartment buildings, past a bunch of parks, and then it turns at Robinson's Parks and goes on down Robbinsdale Drive, and then it goes through all these single-family homes, and this is the 805 bus, past the music studio, past more apartments, and it goes through the quiet part of Coon Rapids that people forget. And it goes past a bunch of Middle Eastern restaurants, bunch of Mexican restaurants. It's just cool. But the issue with a lot of these bus stops are they are bench, sidewalk, dirt. And then some of these bus stops, they're just benches and ditches. So when you get off the bus, you're literally standing in a ditch with a bench. And then, it goes past a Chanticleer Pizza. Who doesn't like Chanticleer Pizza? Things like this. And it goes on to Northdale Boulevard Northeast. And then it turns on to 109th Avenue Northwest. And it's taking you the long way to Coon Rapids. And then it turns on to Rounded Lake Boulevard, and it goes north, and it takes you to a nice Wedgewood Trail. They're good. I said it. And it goes up Round Lake Boulevard. And what's funny is, and it takes you right to the famous shopping area in Coon Rapids, where, there is the Costco, the Mandarin Buffet, the Dick's Sporting Goods, And and the Walmart, the Cub Foods. And then it goes into Anoka. It drops you not at the Anoka station, next door to the Anoka train station, that lets you connect to the North Star train. So then you can get to St. Cloud, and it ends in downtown Anoka, the 805 bus. So the 805 bus has plenty of mom and pop businesses to work on at, but it all starts at the Northtown Mall / the Northtown Transit Center. And it's a long bus ride, but the good thing is, the bus looks like it comes very frequently, Monday through Friday. And also, it has all these shops on it for you to shop at. It's kind of cool because, to me, where I live in Columbia Heights in Anoka County, where I live, it's actually easier for me to shop in Roseville and to take the bus to Roseville and go shopping in Ramsey County than it is for me to get a bus to go to Coon Rapids. Because if I went to the major shopping areas in Coon Rapids from my house, in Columbia Heights, it would take me an hour and 30 minutes just to get to the shopping area in Coon Rapids with the bus. But if I take the 10 bus to Northeast Minneapolis and take the 32 bus to Roseville, to the Rosedale Mall in Roseville, to me that's only an hour bus ride. So it saves me a half an hour of time just to go to Roseville than it is for me to go Coon Rapids on the weekends. And during the weekdays, I can just, when the Columbia Heights bus, that's the 801 bus, that goes from the Columbia Heights Transit Station to the Rosedale Mall in Roseville. That bus only makes me get there in 30 minutes. So Anoka County is so big, where I live in Columbia Heights, it's actually easier for me to take the bus to the Rosedale Mall in Roseville, Minnesota, shop there, take the bus back home, than it is for me to go all the way to the major shopping areas in Coon Rapids. But if you live in Anoka, or if you live in Coon Rapids, you want to live along the 805 bus because with the 805 bus, you can shop in downtown Anoka, you can shop at the major shops in downtown Coon Rapids, and you have all those mom and pop businesses along the major shopping area in Coon Rapids, in South Coon Rapids. You have all that major shopping there, and then you have all the major shopping at the Northtown Transit Center / the Northtown Mall. So if you live along the 805 bus route in Anoka County, you have a lot of advantages because you have all that shopping to your advantage. And shopping malls are good because shopping malls employ a lot of disabled people, because a lot of the stores inside, like Costco, Men's Warehouse, and all that stuff, normal people without disabilities don't want to work there. So us disabled people, if we can take a bus someplace, we can take over those retail jobs and become awfully successful people and take over the mall. But this 805 bus starts at the Northtown Mall. That's why I'm saying the best place for disabled people to shop at and live at is around the Northtown Mall, because you have all these in the Northtown Transit Center because you have access to all these buses in Anoka County. I just told you two of them, the 804 and the 805, and they both take you to all these different job opportunities that you can take advantage of. The only negative with like the 804 and the 805 is they only run Monday through Friday. So because they only run Monday through Friday, you can only work Monday through Friday. And the reason why I chose to live in Columbia Heights is because the 10U and the 10N buses run every day of the week. So me as a disabled person, I don't have as much job opportunities than if I lived near the Northtown Mall in Blaine, but at least I can work anytime I want because the buses I take even runs during the weekend. So as a disabled person, there's pros and cons to kind of everything, and you just have to figure it out. And then you have the 852A bus, and the 852A bus is Monday through Friday. And it's kind of cool because the 852 bus runs from Anoka Technical College in North Anoka County. It's the edge of Anoka. And it goes through downtown Anoka, and it goes on the way there, goes past the Culvers, a CVS, a McDonald's, a Subway, an open box buys. They compete with Discount 70 by my house. And then it takes you through downtown Anoka. And then you go down you head towards the major shopping area in downtown Coon Rapids because, they want people to go there and shop. And there's all these mom and pop businesses kind of and breweries along that bus, but it only runs Monday through Friday, sadly. And there's all these restaurants, and it runs down Coon Rapids Boulevard. So, so it's running down the main popular part of Coon Rapids. So there's plenty of job opportunities along this bus. And, there's a Target, and it ends at the Northtown Transit Center / Northtown Mall. And we'll get to the Northtown Mall in a second, but this is a podcast episode, so I can be more informed with you about why I'm going to make this argument that I'm making this argument for. Because I'm going to make an argument in this podcast, but you need to know the evidence of why I'm making this argument. And then you have the 852 that follows the same route as the 852A, but the 852A, helps you get to downtown. Well, the 852 doesn't. So, and then also with the 852, it also depends on what time you go, because sometimes it only runs through the Northtown Transit Center, and then sometimes it runs from downtown Anoka / Anoka Technical College to downtown Minneapolis. So it takes the same route as the times that it doesn't take until it gets to the Northtown Transit Center / Northtown Mall, and then it goes to 85th, goes past all the businesses on 85th, and then takes East River Road all the way to Highway 694. That's going to be the highway by my house in Fridley. It'll take you into Brooklyn Center. Go down Highway 94 in Brooklyn Center, and then it'll take that all the way to downtown. So, but the issue with the 852A and the 852 regular is sometimes the buses go to the Northtown Mall and stop, and then you can't get to downtown. And sometimes the 852 bus, based on the timing, will take you all the way to downtown Minneapolis. So, so it's pretty cool. So if you for example, if you live up in Anoka, you can easily get to downtown Minneapolis and go to your doctor's appointments and stuff. And this bus, no matter what kind of time you want to go through, all goes through the Northtown Mall / Northtown Transit Center in Blaine. So this is another fact for my argument. And then the rest are 10s and 804s. So, so now let's get back to my argument. In my opinion, the Northtown Mall is the most accessible place for disabled people to shop in Anoka County, Minnesota. Because when you go to, I took the bus from the Northtown Mall to Anoka Technical College, that bus route, every single day when I used to go to school at Anoka Ramsey Community College in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. And that bus, guys, is very interesting. So I used to go through the major shopping area in Coon Rapids all the time. And the issue with that shopping area is it doesn't have a lot of sidewalks, and it's not disabled people friendly, because literally the bus stops are in a ditch, and then you have to walk from the ditch to the sidewalk or the ditch to the local parking lot. And then from there, you have to walk through the parking lot to the business. The shopping center in Coon Rapids is so car friendly that, it doesn't have a lot of sidewalks for people who don't have a car to get around. So, and then there's whole parts of the shopping mall who don't have any sidewalk. And then you're literally walking on the side of the road in the pullover lane. So, yes, if you're willing to be in some dangerous situations and walk in the pullover lane and stuff, the big shopping mall in Coon Rapids will work if you're a disabled person living in Anoka County, Minnesota. And if you do go to the big shopping area in Coon Rapids, the only way to get around safely is if you qualify for Transit Link or Metro Mover or the Metro Mobility Service to get you around. Metro Mover is a new service for people who are on waivers to get around, because Metro Mobility and Transit Link, they're becoming so overwhelmed that people on waivers and people who have disabilities, like really bad disabilities, are not be able to get to work and other medical appointments because the demand is so high. So now Metro Mover is for disabled people only on waivers. So people who are truly very, very disabled. Transit Link is open to the general public. So anyone can use Transit Link. And then Metro Mobility is for seniors to get around. So unless you want to use one of those services or take Uber and Lyft, to get around safely, the major shopping areas in Coon Rapids, they're possible if you're like me and you're willing to walk in the pullover lanes to get places in some of the shopping areas. You mean? And then some of the crosswalks, they're made for people who can walk. So the crosswalks, when like you push the buttons, do not talk. Here in Columbia Heights, the reason why I chose to live where I live, because a lot of the crosswalks, when I go to them, you can push the button and they talk. So then if you're a disabled person like me who has a visual impairment, or if you're someone in a wheelchair and you're so low that you can't see the crosswalk sign, you at least know when you want to go. When you can walk, because the thing will tell you. But if you're in a place like out in Coon Rapids, their major shopping malls don't have those accessibility features. They expect you to be, if you are walking, to be a standing, walking, 20/20 vision, not wheelchair person. Because in some of the sidewalks out there, they don't have wheelchair ramps to get up and off the sidewalk. They make you physically step up, even at the crosswalks. Because out there, it's not made for disabled people. It's made for people who have cars. So, so that shopping mall, yes, you can get there with the city bus, and you can get there with those other transportation services, but it's not accessible to walk around. So that's, at least in my opinion. Every disabled person has their own different opinion on that. Well, the Northtown Mall, the mall itself doesn't have sidewalks and stuff, but the strip malls around the Northtown Mall do. So when I get off the bus at the Northtown Transit Center, there's a sidewalk that's between University and the transit station that will connect you to all the sidewalks that go, or to all the strip malls that are around the Northtown Mall. Because a lot of the Northtown Mall strip malls, they are accessible. So what you do is, once you get to that sidewalk that goes around the Northtown Mall, you can get to all the strip malls. But the funny part is with those sidewalks, the sidewalks will take you to all the strip malls, to the car entrances to the strip mall, and then they expect people with wheelchairs and with disabilities to walk to the car entrance on the sidewalk and then take the car entrance up to the strip mall. So, and then when I go over there, I see people with wheelchairs doing it, but at least, it's more accessible than the big shopping area in Coon Rapids. So, so then, the good thing is you can get off the sidewalk, take the car entrance, get into the parking lot, and then once you're in the parking lot, you can just walk to the shopping area or the store that you want in the strip malls. So, and be lucky, there's a Big Lots there in the strip malls outside the Northtown Mall. There's a Big Lots, there's a Salvation Army family store, there's a Savers, there's a Planet Fitness, there's a Denny's, there's a Target, there is a Barnes & Noble, there is half-price books where you can buy used books, there is a Sleep Number, there's a Becker Furniture, there's a Cub Foods, there's a Home Depot, and this is all, but some of it doesn't have sidewalks to it, but there's at least a sidewalk that goes to the parking lot, and then once you're in the parking lot, you can kind of scooter through or walk through or use your white cane to feel through the parking lot to get to the strip mall. It's not as accessible as Rosedale in Roseville, because the shopping malls around Roseville around Rosedale Mall are more accessible. But the difference is Roseville and the Rosedale Mall is in a first-ring suburb of St. Paul. So there's going to be more disabled people using those accessibility features in Roseville around the Rosedale Mall than is going to be at the Northtown Mall. So, but the Northtown Mall is still more accessible than the mall in the major shopping area in Coon Rapids. And also, the good thing is that the Northtown Mall also is on all the major bus routes, like what I told you, what I spent a good chunk of this podcast explaining. So no matter where you live in Anoka County, in some parts of Ramsey County, based on what you saw today, can get to the Northtown Mall to work, shop, and eat without relying on Metro Mover, Transit Link, or Metro Mobility to get there. And then those buses on the way to the Northtown Mall, they have all these mom and pop businesses for disabled people to work at. So, yeah, the sucky part is it might just be a bench in a ditch, and then you have to, walk in the ditch to get places. But, that as long as you're not wheelchair-bound, that's possible. But even if you're wheelchair-bound and you can't get off at stops like that, at least if you take the bus all the way to the Northtown Mall in Blaine, once you get there, even if it's no sidewalk, in some areas, at least it's all concrete. So then at least you have concrete and you're not driving in mud and grass on the side of the ditch. So the Northtown Mall is not very accessible, but it's the most accessible shopping area in Anoka County without you have to going all the way to Coon Rapids. So, and it depends on where you live. Like here, because I live in Columbia Heights, the furthest north I go in Anoka County on the regular is the Northtown Mall. And because that's the most accessible area to shop at in Anoka County. If I go anything north of that, I can still get there, but it's not going to be accessible. So I don't really go anywhere north, more north than the Northtown Mall, because I live in Columbia Heights. And be lucky that 10 bus I always take, the 10U or the 10N, has plenty of businesses along it for me to be entertained. And if I want to go shopping at a store that's not at the Northtown Mall, because I live in Columbia Heights, if it's Monday through Friday, I can take the 801 bus that leaves the Columbia Heights Transit Station and goes to the Rosedale Mall in Roseville, Minnesota. And then I can do all my shopping there because it's a first-ring suburb of St. Paul, and just do my shopping in Ramsey County where it's more accessible if it's not available at the Northtown Mall or its shopping area around it. Also, but if you live in Coon Rapids or Anoka, that's going to be a different story, because for you're not going to it makes no sense for you to go to Roseville. So for you, it makes sense hopping on a bus at Anoka or Coon Rapids and then taking that bus to the Northtown Mall and doing your shopping at the Northtown Mall, because it's the most accessible place near you. So the answer, I'm going to say, it depends on where you live in Anoka County, because I'm sorry to say is if you live in Anoka or Coon Rapids, it just makes sense to shop at the Northtown Mall, and then whatever's not at the Northtown Mall, you just have to get at the mall in Coon Rapids, and you might just have to walk in the pullover lanes, in some of the areas where there's no sidewalks. And if you take the city bus or just take Metro Mobility, Metro Transit, or Transit Link, or Metro Mover. Because Metro Mover, Transit Link, and Metro Mobility are going to be your only other options if you don't want to walk and take the city bus. So, but if you're willing to take the city bus and save yourself a lot of money, and this makes sense to take the bus through Coon Rapids, through the Coon Rapids Mall, and go to the Northtown Mall, where things would be more accessible for you. So when I was looking at condos here in Anoka County, I looked at condos up in Anoka, I looked at condos in Coon Rapids along the bus line, and I knew that area because I went to school at Anoka Ramsey Community College, and I took the bus there every day to go to school. And then the days that I wasn't on a bus line, when I lived a little bit in Maple Grove, I took Metro Mobility there every day for school at Anoka Ramsey Community College. And in Metro Mobility, they just don't take you straight home. They pick you up, they pick up other people and drop off other people on the way. So then I saw a lot of that Coon Rapids, Anoka area. So I know it well. So between the city bus, Metro Mobility, and some days I took Transit Link, because Metro Mobility said they refused to give me a ride from Maple Grove to Coon Rapids. So, so then, some days I Ubered, some days I had my mom drop me off. So I kind of knew that area well. So when I first was looking for condos, I looked up there and I said, well, if I take the city bus, because the city bus is more affordable and more reliable than the ride sharing services for the disabled community, so I'm going to take the city bus. I realized that my closest shopping mall, the one in Coon Rapids, it won't be the most accessible. So then I have to go all the way to the Northtown Mall in Blaine anyways. So, and then the crosswalks in Blaine and Anoka are not as accessible. There's whole sections of road that I would have to walk without sidewalk. So then I have to walk in the pullover ditch, And I'm like, nope. So then I checked Fridley and I checked Blaine. But the issue is Blaine and Fridley, the closer you get to the Northtown Mall, it gets more expensive because a lot of people who are disabled or seniors, they want to live near the Northtown Mall because the Northtown Mall is accessible. So then whatever I could find over there was super expensive. So then it ended up, but was super accessible. But then I checked out Hilltop. Hilltop was not my style. It was just a bunch of single-family homes and homes there. And with trailer homes, you own the trailer, then you have to pay lot rent forever. But I did, if I couldn't find anything, I would have chose that option. And then I ended up coming to Columbia Heights, the tippiest south of Anoka County, where they have good bus service, Monday through Monday. All the street lights are accessible. And then I have options to 3 shopping areas because of the Columbia Heights train station. I can go to Brooklyn Center and shop at their shopping area with the 801 bus. I can also take the 801 bus to St. Anthony, shop at their shopping area, and then if I don't want to shop at their shopping area, I can continue and then shop in St. Anthony is in Ramsey County. Then I can shop at the Rosedale Mall and Roseville, because that's where the 80 bus ends, or Monday through Friday, or I can take the 10 bus from the Northtown Mall to all the way through Northeast to downtown, and I can shop in downtown Minneapolis, or I can shop at the Northtown Mall in Blaine, or I can get off in Northeast on Laurie Avenue, and then I can get off there on the weekends, or even during the week, take the 32 bus that goes from Robbinsdale through North Minneapolis, through Northeast Minneapolis, through the southern part of St. Anthony, because the 801 bus goes to the north part, and to the Rosedale Mall in Roseville. So then I'm like, and because they run through all the first ring suburbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul, all the bus stops along that bus and all the crosswalks are accessible. So then I said, cool, southern Anoka County is perfect. So then I bought me and my mom, we worked together and bought ourselves a condo in Columbia Heights. That's how I kind of ended up here, because it had the most accessible, it was around the most accessible businesses, the most accessible shopping area, and it worked for me. When I take the 10U or the 10N bus to the Northtown Mall, these are the kind of stores I shop at. Well, there's Walmart that's outside the Northtown Mall. I go there for my food, like my tomatoes, my strawberries, my blueberries, and like my food. And then, there is Target there. There is a Target in Fridley along the 10U bus, but that Target is a regular Target. Well, the Target at the Northtown Mall is a super Target. So you're going to have like triple the options at the one outside the Northtown Mall in Blaine than the one on the 10U bus in Fridley. So then I go to Target, and next to that Target, there's a half-price books where people sell and buy used books. So then I go there and I buy some books, for a good price, because, I buy books for myself, and then I give them to my sister. So then me and my sister can read the same books together. I go there a lot. And then next there's a Home Depot. Home Depot, I only go to that Home Depot if the one on the 10U bus in Fridley does not have something. Because the Fridley Home Depot on the 10U bus and the Home Depot outside the Northtown Mall / next to Northtown Mall, the one next to Northtown Mall in Blaine is bigger. And because it's a bigger store, it has some things that the Home Depot in Fridley along the 10U bus does not have. So if I go to that Home Depot and I don't find something I want that I needed, that I saw on their website, I normally just hop back on the 10U bus, go up to Northtown Mall, and go to the bigger Home Depot. Because, Blaine, they have more land, so the store was able to build bigger. So, and then I go to Savers up there. There is a Savers on the 10N bus and the 10U bus and the 10H bus on Columbia Heights. But that Savers is a smaller, older Savers. So sometimes, when if I want to buy something used and I can't find something at that Savers, I'll hop back on the 10U or the 10N bus, and I'll go up to the Northtown Mall to the bigger Savers in a strip mall outside the Northtown Mall, because when they built it, they had more land to build a bigger Savers. So then I go up to that Savers and I go check things out up there. They have the family store. It's called the Salvation Army Family Store, and they employ homeless people. So what they do is they help homeless people in downtown Minneapolis. They get treatment. They house them in Fridley, and then they have them work at the Salvation Army Family Store in Blaine, because that store is big. That store, because when they built it, they had more land. So in that strip mall there, outside the Northtown Mall, they also have a big, massive Salvation Army Family Store where people can find like nice couches that were donated, nice dishes, and they have more because it's a bigger spot. A lot of times I go. There's one in Fridley along the 10N bus that's way closer. A lot of times I go to that one because it's just closer to my house. But if I can't find something at the Savers in Columbia Heights that I'm looking for, or the Salvation Army Family Store in Fridley on the 10N bus, I just wait for the next 10N bus, hop on, and then go up to the Northtown Mall, because when you have your day off, you have the time to do Goodwill hopping and the Salvation Army store hopping. So then, I go up there, once in a while, I check out that place. And when my sister wants a physical book for her birthday or Christmas or whatever, I'll go to the Barnes & Noble up there because, the one in Roseville is bigger and it's fancier. But because it's bigger and fancier, it costs more money to go to that Barnes & Noble in Roseville. And because the one outside the Northtown Mall in Blaine, it's smaller and not as fancy, it's actually cheaper for me to get books there. So then I go to the Barnes & Noble up there, I buy some books, and then there's Big Lots. Now, Big Lots is an interesting story. Big Lots is a good store because what happens is they sell overstocked merchandise. So what happens if a Target, Sam's Club, Costco, Amazon have too much items? Big Lots will buy those extra bulk items that those big stores can't sell, and they bring it to Big Lots. Their store in Blaine is my favorite one because it's the biggest one in my area, and they sell things at a discount. And they compete with Discount 70 that's in Columbia Heights here. So if you want new stuff, you can take the 10N or the 10U bus, get off at the Columbia Heights train station and walk to Discount 70. Or you can take the 10N or 10U to go to Northtown Mall, or the other buses in Anoka County and go to Northtown Mall and go to Big Lots. So because if you live in Anoka or Coon Rapids, it makes no sense to come to Discount 70 here in Columbia Heights when it's so far away, when you have so many good stores where you can buy cheap stuff at the Northtown Mall and Coon Rapids. So then there's Big Lots up there that you guys should check out. And then there's a Dollar Tree and a strip mall outside of the Northtown Mall that it's one of the nice. So Dollar Trees, you have the ghetto Dollar Tree and you have the nice Dollar Tree. The ghetto Dollar Trees, don't have freezers in the back. They don't have produce. They don't have bread. They just sell junk that you don't need. Those are the ghetto Dollar Trees. The good Dollar Trees have freezers with food in the back. They sell produce. They sell bread. They sell snacks. So those are the good Dollar Trees. And because a lot of people in Blaine have money, they have a good Dollar Tree. And they have a lot of haircut salons and stuff up there. And then they also have a Planet Fitness. So then if you're disabled and you get Medicare through the federal government, and then you get medical assistance through the county, a lot of times through medical assistance, they'll make your insurance pay for a basic gym membership. And it will mostly only cover up to gym membership up to $12. And if you go beyond $12, you have to pay. They'll only reduce $12 off your price. So the good thing about Planet Fitness is because they have a $10.99 plan, like a very basic plan, your total $12 will cover that gym membership. And it's in a strip mall outside of Northtown Mall. So then the good thing is, so no matter where you live in Anoka County, you can take the bus to the Northtown Transit Center, and then you can walk to Planet Fitness and work out. And then, there is like MGM Liquor. That's also outside the Northtown Mall in a strip mall. And they're mom and pop. No, they're not mom and pop liquor store. Like, they're a mom and pop chain. So they have a chain of liquor stores, but it's a small liquor store chain. So, and then they have a Chuck E. Cheese's up there around the Northtown Mall and the strip mall for you to take your kids or yourself if you want cheap pizza. And the Northtown Mall itself has Becker furniture. So then, so you can like make payment plans and have furniture shipped to your house. And then inside there's a Foot Locker. There is an African American shoe place in there. There's like a Pearl Vision. There's a Hobby Lobby. So the Northtown Mall, it's a very accessible place, and it's full of nice places for disabled people to shop. And the Cub Foods next to the Northtown Mall does not have a Huntington Bank in it. If you're a Huntington Bank thing, you have to go. It's in the strip mall, off mall property. But, but it's, to me, because I can walk, and if you have electric scooter, you can easily get around the mall and go to the Huntington. In the Huntington, there's a new Huntington because they bought some old failed IHOP building. They knocked it down and they put, a new bank there because it's cheaper to buy land and build a bank building than it is for a bank to rent forever. So I'm finally happy that, they got their own building now and they actually own some land and they didn't have to move far from the mall. So, the Northtown Mall, it's a good mall. And then, there's like a Great Clips and, that kind of stuff in that area. Sleep Number is in a strip mall outside the mall. Just like Target. And then there's a Chick-fil-A and an Applebee's in the Northtown Mall's parking lot. And Chick-fil-A's, open Monday through Saturday. They're closed Sunday. And then Applebee's is open all day of the week. And then there's a food court in the Northtown Mall that's only open Saturdays and Sundays. And they sell Mexican food, West African food, and stuff. And then because it's accessible, when you order your food, you don't go up to the booth to order. There's these little iPad screens that if you're blind vision impaired, you can plug a pair of headphones into. And then you can hear the screen talk as you're kind of scrolling through the television. It reminds me of like a McDonald's ordering tablets. And then you can order your food from whatever restaurant you want. And then they'll text you your receipt when your food is done. So then you can go pick it up. But I like that because I can't see restaurant menus because of my low vision. But with the tablet, I can zoom it in big enough on the thing. And if I can't zoom it in, I can step close enough to it where I can read what's actually on the menus of these restaurants and order. So it's super accessible, and they're also low. They have some low ones there, and they have some high ones there. So for me, who's visually impaired, the high ones work better. For someone like my friend Paul, who's in a wheelchair, the low ones work better. So it's a very accessible area. I really like it. I think even if you don't want to take the city bus there, at least take Metro Mobility to the shopping area, Metro Mover, or Transit Link to the area, or Uber or Lyft, because it's a very disabled friendly area. You just have to be careful with the cars because everyone in southern Coon Rapids, everyone in Blaine, everyone in Fridley, and some parts of Columbia Heights all go to that mall to shop, that shopping area to shop. So it gets very busy with cars and very busy with buses. So when you're traveling around, you want to be careful to make sure that you don't accidentally hurt yourself. And then when I go there, I normally go to like Fry's Comfort Foods when I go there on the weekends at the Northtown Mall, and that kind of stuff. And then sometimes I go to Applebee's there when I'm meeting up with my brother and my parents. And there's plenty of things to do around there. Yeah, so I really like the Northtown Mall in Blaine because of the accessibility and things to do there. Even on my days off, when I don't have money and all that stuff, I will go to the Northtown Mall just to walk, relax, get one or two healthy bubble tea drinks, walk around the mall, have a good time, see families and their kids, and spending time together. It's a very good, nice, peaceful environment. And also, at the Northtown Mall, of course you have the dumb teenagers who are always causing trouble. But the dumb teenagers causing trouble at the Northtown Mall, it doesn't happen as much or doesn't happen as badly as incidents like that happen at the Mall of America in Bloomington or the Rosedale Center in Roseville or the big shopping center in Brooklyn Center. The Northtown Mall in Blaine does have some crazies once in a while because all the buses in Anoka County run there. But it's still way safer than other shopping areas around my house. So, and also you'll see a lot of West African families, if you can see, at the mall. A lot of Hispanic families from all over South America and Mexico. You're going to see a lot of Somalian American families are fleeing Minneapolis and moving into more of the older apartments around the Northtown Mall because they want the convenience of the Northtown Mall and they want it walkable, they want walkable distance, and they're just sick of all the chaos happening in South Minneapolis. So, but because some parts like downtown Minneapolis is like the safe part of Minneapolis. Southwest Minneapolis is a safe part of Minneapolis because that's where the rich people live in Minneapolis. But the issue, and it's not chaotic, but the issue is if you're not a rich person and you have to live in the poor parts of Minneapolis, sometimes it's very chaotic, and these Somalian Americans have finally had enough of Minneapolis and the chaos that's happening in their communities in Minneapolis. So they come and they join the nice peaceful community that's around the Northtown Mall in Blaine. And then you're going a year, so there's a lot of cultures. And, there's still space around the Northtown Mall. So, on the other side of Highway 10. So, where there's no busing yet, that part of Blaine. And a lot of the new immigrants in Somalian community, in the West African community, in the Hispanic community are now buying up some of that grassland over there and building their businesses. Eventually, the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be the Northtown shopping area is going to be on both sides of Highway 10. So, it's a big growing, and then eventually they'll have to put busing over there so people without cars can get there and work there. So, it's a very growing area, and with all the new cultures moving in around it, it's changing and improving the Northtown Mall, and it's going to make it even more accessible. Well, guys, remember to check out my Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel, because when I take bus trips and stuff, I, record it because, and then my bus trips, and then I make them into YouTube shorts, and I post them on there. I take these podcast episodes, I post it on my Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan. I post videos on there. I make video content. I post that on there. So I post things on my Dustin Lindbergh, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel that won't make sense in a podcast form like this. So I hope you guys have a good day. Remember to check out my YouTube channel. Remember to share this podcast episode. Remember to subscribe. Remember to go over to my YouTube and subscribe, because if you don't subscribe to my podcast, and if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, the algorithms are not going to promote to you when I release a new episode. Well, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.